Guys, happy coffee talk. Monday morning, I'm drinking coffee in my Perry mug. So my Perry mug, I always feel a little sassy when I get this mug out. And I am drinking Black Rifle coffee, and it's delicious. And here's the thing: I had intentions of waking up at 4 a.m. this morning. My alarm went off at 4:10. I hit the snooze multiple times, which I don't normally do. I'm not a snooze girl. I know that I'm not judging those of you who are snooze people, but I tend to wake up in my alarm with very rare exceptions. But today I was just worn out. And I slept a little extra, which is what is inspiring today's coffee talk episode. So we're going to just dive straight into it. I think part of my brain wanted to be like, I'm not going to be able to wake up on time at all because I'm tired. So I'm going to reset my alarm for, I have my first consult call this morning at 6:30 for someone who's thinking about getting started with Fit Me. And so I knew I had to be up early, but not at 4 a.m. early. And part of my brain wanted to reset my alarm for, 6:15 essentially, just enough time to get up. But I hit my snooze a couple times, and ultimately I ended up waking up around 5:45, which gave me time to get coffee, to get squared away a little bit, to get prepared for that meeting, and to record this with you. But there's a part of our brain that immediately goes to all or nothing, and I can't tell you how much this mindset issue comes up with coaching, and with people who are trying to make changes around nutrition and exercise more. This might be more problematic to me than self-sabotage. It might be more problematic than overeating. I mean, there are a lot of things that can get in our way that are sort of self-imposed. Whether those, you want to call those mindset things, or whether they're just bad habits or crappy thought patterns or whatever. But on the top of my list, top 3 for sure, is this lie that all or nothing thinking actually serves us. And I hate to use this morning as an example, but it kind of is an example because I wanted to get up at 4:10. That was my goal. Couldn't do it. I could have said, well, today I'm just too tired, and rolled out of bed right before I needed to. And I think that would have been a version of all or nothing, but instead I was okay with, I get myself a little bit more sleep, kind of met in the middle, got up in time to get some stuff done, but not nearly as much as I wanted. So that example doesn't really equate 100% to the idea that we're not going to start exercising until it's the right time. We're not going to start doing nutrition until it's the right time. But it does, because here's the thing, I wanted to be awake at 4:10 because I really wanted to get a lot of things done. I had intentions around it. I wanted to do it. I knew that I should do it. And instead, I got up at 5:45. So am I a failure? No, but I didn't do what I had intended to do. And so in some ways that feels bad because it was sort of a compromise. I wanted to be all in, crushed my Monday morning, didn't do it, still got something in. So maybe you're like, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. and I'm going to do a walk. But then you don't. Or maybe the dog pukes on the floor and you're like, well, tomorrow, I guess it's tomorrow is the walk day. When really, if you were honest, instead of that hour walk, you could squeeze in 20 minutes. You just don't want to because of all or nothing thinking. And that's why this example equates, because we do this all the time. So for example, let's talk about nutrition. Maybe you have a really solid breakfast. You go to work. Somebody has some crap on their desk. You're not even thinking about it. You grab it, you eat it. And then now you're like, well, today is ruined. So I'm just going to start over tomorrow since I just had 5 mini Snickers. And even though the rest of the day could be okay, you're done. All or nothing thinking says today is a wash. I'm going to start over tomorrow. Well, that doesn't serve you. 5 mini Snickers, yeah, it wasn't in the plan for the day, but you could have just got right back to it. You could have ate the lunch you packed. You could have got home. You could have had some water, gone for a walk, had a healthy snack, made a good dinner with your family, had a pretty solid day, except that instead, those 5 mini Snickers means that you got to start over tomorrow because why? Because all or nothing thinking. And so you really just kind of wasted today when it didn't have to be that way. And again, I could have just said, well, this morning's a wash because I can't do what I intended to do, so I will just try again later. Or I can do what I can today, and that's good enough. Or at least that's what I'm going to do. And who gets to decide if it's good enough? Really, it's just accountability with yourself. I mean, I'm telling you about my morning, but at the end of the day, you're not deciding if it's good enough. You're not going to care. You're not judging me on whether or not I get up early and get some stuff done. It doesn't impact you. It's just me. It's just me and me. So when you eat 5 mini Snickers and you say screw it for the rest of your day, nobody cares. You're doing that to you. You and you are the only people who care that it wasn't exactly how you planned. And so when we give ourselves the out of, well, I don't need to, and that's really what we're doing. So the funny thing is that all or nothing sounds like a hardcore mentality, like you're extra, committed or you're extra disciplined because when you go all in, you go all in. It sounds really good, except in reality, that's just not how it happens. 99% of the time, we're just giving ourselves a pass to either 1, procrastinate, 2, something didn't go quite right, so I can just give up on it the rest of the day, or 3, look for the perfect scenario or time and put the blame on external things of why we can't do it rather than own something and do it anyway. And so when we're in all or nothing, although it sounds like you're doing the thing, like you've got that I'm all in discipline mentality, really, again, you're probably procrastinating. You're giving yourself a pass when things don't quite right to just give up, and you're looking for external reasons why you can't do it as opposed to just committing internally to what you need to do to get done. So let's talk about each of those real quick. So procrastinating, there's never going to be a good time. Never, ever, ever. It's just going to continue to get pushed off. So there's always going to be the water heater that breaks. There's always going to be the dog that needs to go to the vet. There's always going to be the kids with their activities. There's always going to be whatever. There's never going to be a good time. And so we look for reasons to put things off that are going to be hard or challenging. So if we're talking about, well, I need to start eating better, I'm going to start exercising, we know it's going to be hard. We know the beginning is hard of that. And so it's easier to push that off than it is to go ahead and do it. So we hide it under the disguise of all or nothing because we're saying, okay, well, this and this and this are requiring my time, money, and attention right now, so I can't do that. I can't eat healthy right now. I got to do that later. I got to start exercising later because I want to be able to go all in and I want to be successful at it, and I really just can't put my attention on it right now because insert reasons to put it off, right? That's what we do. And then the second piece is when we give ourselves that pass, right? Like you can mess up and then just say, well, today's a wash because I needed it to be a perfect day, and it's not a perfect day. And so it's not a perfect day, so then now I can't do it. And so I can just go ahead and give up and not do it. That's just a pass. It's just an easy out. It's like if your kid was like going to paint a picture and then they started painting it and they were like, well, this picture sucks. I quit. I mean, what kind of attitude is that? That's what we do when we're in all or nothing because we've told ourselves that it has to be perfect. It has to be exactly as we intended. It has to look that particular kind of way, or we can just start over tomorrow. Why not just start over? But that mentality means that you have basically given up on the day over and over and over again. And then finally, we put the ownership of our choices on external circumstances rather than owning it for ourselves and deciding proactively we are going to do something regardless. And so when we're in all or nothing thinking, it becomes really easy to start to look for external reasons why you can't do something. Like externally, for example, maybe the gym shifted their time a little bit. You're like, well, can't do it now because they shifted their time. It doesn't work perfect. So I'm just going to have to wait until they shift it back. They said it might be in 3 or 4 months. That is putting external blame on something that has nothing to do with them. This is about you getting your exercise in and you're not doing it because the gym slightly shifted their time. But that's not a good enough reason for you to not do it. You just need to make an adjustment. But because it's in all or nothing, it's somebody else's fault. Well, you don't have to do it. And so when we're in that mindset of all or nothing thinking, we tend to find external reasons why we shouldn't do something, because it validates, point one, we don't have to do it right now. We can put it off because so-and-so did this. This happened at work. This. Somebody else set this circumstance in motion, which kind of messed it up. And so now you can't. So I just wanted to go through this all or nothing mindset kind of conversation because I hear it come up over and over again. It does not serve you. It doesn't. If it worked, great, but it doesn't work. It does not work. In fact, it just puts off the potential progress that you can make for yourself to forever, to never ever is when it happens because of this myth around all or nothing. And I'm tired of the myth. I'm tired of the hype. I think it's harder, to be honest, to be right in the middle. The messy middle is what I call it. Like, it's harder to be in the middle, but much easier for me to be like, yeah, I didn't wake up at the time I was hoping. I'll try again tomorrow. The messy middle, less sexy. I got halfway good day. Less sexy. Wasn't the time I wanted, but I still made it work. Less sexy. Like, that is just way less Instagram worthy than the all or nothing thinking. However, one works better than the other because I did get something done today. Like, even if it wasn't perfect, this podcast would not have happened had I been all or nothing because I would have been like, nope, I don't have time. Try again tomorrow. But I practice that messy middle, to be honest. There's sometimes where all or nothing seems kind of fun and appealing. Like, I'll do that, but I don't do it on purpose because there's no way I want to compromise that mindset. I want to go the other way, actually. I want to make sure I'm practicing showing up. I want to practice not procrastinating the things that are hard. I want to practice owning things, not putting it externally on other places. And I just want to practice making progress, even if it's not perfect. Everybody says that, but this is what we're talking about. So thanks for plugging into Coffee Talk. If you haven't done so, subscribe to Fit Me Coffee Talk on your favorite podcast platform. If you like this episode, be sure to subscribe, but do me a huge favor. Screen capture it, share it, and tag me. That's how people find out about it. I don't have sponsors or anything yet for this podcast. And the only way that people find out about it is if you tell them. So that means a ton to me. Screen capture it, share it, tag me. And if you are not a part of our Facebook group yet, come on over to Facebook, search Fit Me Community, request to join the group. I'll add you. We've got a really fun thing coming up in February. It's going to be a really fun free game that you can participate in to help you with your nutrition. Signups for that are going to start tomorrow. And so hope to see you in the Facebook group, and I will talk to you later. Bye.